Day 10 of the cleanse. I made it 10 days. I've reached some of my goals. I set out with the intention of reducing some of the prescription drugs I was on, and I've done that. I see that as a form of an addiction, actually. However, another form of addiction that I think is completely not stated enough in our society is food addiction. I think the additives in the food make us addicted to the food, and it causes a lot of toxicity in the body. We're intoxicated with those additives, and it's something that is very hard to let go of because the society, our cultures oftentimes support that type of addiction because it can be cultural. If you don't want to eat meat, for example, people get offended and upset, particularly in communities of color where love is expressed through food. And so it's not anything personal, but I think people just don't get it. Or sometimes I think their own issues with their diet forces them to project onto you, and kind of just not reflect on how they're living, what they're choosing to put into their body as opposed to being plant-based. They want to eat animals. And then, when you don't eat animals, you're a reflection of that to those people, whether you speak on it or not. Um, I'm looking also at overcoming my ego. I revisited some of my books, and shout out to Eckhart Tolle. He talks about how emotion is a dimension of ego. And I'm going to read a short passage from his book. In the book, he says the following: the ego is not only the unobserved mind, the voice in the head which pretends to be you, but also the unbothered, unobserved emotions that are the body's reaction to what the voice in the head is saying. And I find that profoundly deep because there is a voice in our head, whether we want to believe it or not. I'm not saying someone's schizophrenic, and I empathize with you if you have that. It's a horrible disease. I've worked with people and have met people who have struggled with that in their journey, and it's not a joke. Um, in any event, yes, there is a voice in our head, and that voice is the ego, the idea that we are this one way, but really and truly we're not in touch with our higher self. And so that voice can speak really loudly to us. But in addition, the ego doesn't know how to discern, or our self, our mind doesn't know how to discern fear thoughts and anger thoughts and thoughts that are born in the ego, and then it perceives it all as reality. And so then we can have a physical response, i.e. anxiety, sometimes depression, so on and so forth, based on those fear-based thoughts, based on that ego. So yeah, I'm working on that daily. I have bouts of fear several times throughout the day, even as far as this diet. In cleanse, I want to commit to a vegan diet. I still reach for too much sugar, but however, what's keeping me on track is the larger goal, which is being free of medication, being free from food addictions, releasing the toxicity, and understanding that there is a powerful link between the two. Well, I am going to continue to detox cleanse, and I will keep you all posted on my progress. Signing off.